Welcome to this episode of Wellness for Life series. My name is Adaeze, your wellness buddy. Today, I'll delve briefly into the law of winning. What I call the law of winning, I made it up, but it's just looking at the principle surrounding how winning is done. And this principle is inevitable in relation to adopting healthy lifestyle choices that are sustainable through our lifespan, not quick fixes. If you've listened to me long enough, you would have heard me say life is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long race. Did you know that it could be fatal for someone who is a drug or alcohol addict to suddenly stop taking drugs or alcohol without following the winning process? Such dramatic change could be fatal, could be endangering to their health because God has not designed us that way. My hope is that after this video, you can leverage on the law of winning to improve your health and change unhealthy habits and stop those relapses that you keep going like you are healthy for 1 month, then the next 3 months you are back to where you were or even in a worse place. So the law of winning is that non-obvious natural process that cuts across most things in nature and how it works. And for whatever reason, we do embrace it in other aspects of life. If you're going to learn a skill today, you would take time to practice and learn that skill. If you plant a seed, I'm aware there are quick fixes these days, but generally you wait a few weeks and months to get the fruits. In the world of dating, you hear advice like, "Oh, too much too soon is not good." We live life in stages and seasons, and we embrace this ideology of one step at a time. But for whatever reason, this theme, this ideology, this process is missed in wellness. You hear declarations like lose 10 kg in 10 days, get 6 packs in 6 weeks, lose your baby fat in 8 weeks. I bet you get the point. Think about a pregnant woman. As grand as God is, He designed the woman to carry a baby for 9 months before the baby is released into the world. The moment the sperm hits the egg, we should have a baby. He could do that if he wanted to. But God is a God of process. There is time where the pelvic softens and not the pelvic, the ligaments soften around the pelvic area, preparing for the baby to come. And just the body just keeps preparing and feeding the baby. The baby is growing. It's an amazing process. And so when you think about winning, is a similar theme. It's all about introducing children to textures and tastes and help them improve their eye-hand coordination as that's needed for eating because they get most of their nutrients from the milk. At least that's what I advise mothers who I support with their weaning processes. So that process of winning is all about introduction, it's all about stages, it's not about too much too soon. Yes, I believe in miracles. I believe God can heal. He healed me so many times without me going through any process. But we know that a lot of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, they are preventable with good habits and changing your lifestyle with what you eat and how much you rest and how much you exercise and your if you're not living a sedentary lifestyle, how much of your muscles you're building, especially if you're above 30s like me. If you want to quit smoking, quit drinking, quit do more exercise, you can follow the law of winning. If you want to stop, reduce salt in your diet, for example, you can't just go from 4 cubes or maybe a pot of soup to 1 cube or nothing at all. You don't go from salty to tasteless or bland. Your family will probably hate you for that. And so, if you're trying to do anything, follow this principle of step by step, make a plan. If you want to exercise more, don't just do 30 minutes to an hour, record a video, put it online, and you're vibing to it, and suddenly we don't hear from you again for another year or so. And then you come out again with another video. It's like, come on, sis or bro, if you're a guy listening to me, regardless of whether you're posting or not, we can't always post. That's not the point. The point is we need consistency in wellness to really live that life in abundance that Jesus has promised us or given to us. So you can go from 30 minutes to 15 minutes every other day, or even 10 minutes if you've not exercised for a long time. And then afterwards, you start building it. The next week, you could do 3 days. For the average adult, 4 to 5 days of vigorous to mild exercise is enough to keep you fit. It's not that complex. Unless you're athletic, you're training for something professional. 4 to 5 days of 15 to 30 minutes exercise, especially if you're not living a sedentary lifestyle, is enough to keep you going, to keep you going. So remember that if anything you want to change, you can. We are not smarter than God. God is a God of process. If you want to be healthy, sit down and make up your mind and say, I'm going to follow how God has designed my body to get better. The healing, even natural wound takes time. You look at the wound today, it's weeping, tomorrow it's a bit drier, and then you see the scar later. Everything is like a process. So why not do that for health? Why not do that for health? So, Christians thankfully have the innate ability to have self control. I tell people, you're not as helpless as you think. You have that leverage, that innate ability to be self controlled. So, whatever it is that you want to change, you can change it because you have that advantage. However, just because inside of you you've got self control doesn't mean that on the outside you're going to be doing exactly that. You still need to follow the process of building this habit, building that resilience through following this law of winning, through respecting process. Anything you want to do is possible. But my challenge to you today is, are you ready to follow the process? Forget about what everybody's saying and what people are achieving and say, okay, I am 110 kg today. It's not good for my height. I'm unfit, I'm unhealthy, I eat crap, I don't eat as much fruits. I know the recommendation is at least five a day for fruits and veg. I sometimes forget, maybe once a week. You can do one apple a day. You can start with that, or just choose a fruit that you really like. If you like mango, say, okay, I'm going to eat one mango a day. The following week, you do something like that as well, and do two fruits in that week, and then replace a snack for maybe carrots, for example. You can say, okay, I'm going to sneak in a carrot to work for my lunch, for my break time. So these are things you can do, and they are very simple things. It's not supposed to be that difficult, but for some reason, simple things are made so complex. So I'm here if you want personalized meal plans, if you need support, if you're like, Adaeze, I've tried everything. I've tried the no fats diet. I've done everything. I just cannot get it right. I'm here to support you. But if you've never really thought about it this way, this is a good video to leverage on. Sit down and write it down. This is where I want to get to. How do I get there? Following the law of winning and the principles that surrounds that process, that is God's way. Remember, this channel is all about wellness God's way. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for listening. Please share with somebody who would benefit from this. Let's help this channel grow. God bless you.